Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up oil from the very basic setup up to actually mining oil. So in the Dangerous Horizons DLC, tier 5 is introduced, okay? Here we go. So at the start of tier 5, it all starts with the manufacturing bench. You're going to need a lot of materials to craft some of the stuff in tier 5, as all the major structures that you build are very expensive. Nothing like you've ever done before. First of all, you need the manufacturing bench, which is this thing here. I'll get into this at a later date in a separate video, but this is where you're going to be crafting all your tier 5 and all of the previous tiers. The first items you're going to be unlocking is the aluminium screws, which are important, so grab them straight away. You're going to need your oil can and the oil barrel, okay? So you want to be going for the natural oil refiner first, along with the organic extractor and the biofuel pipe tool. They're the things you're going to need first. The rest, what you see here, are going to be useless for the time being, okay? What you need to do is craft these organic extractors. Now, I've got two just to speed up the process. These are going to require organic material placed inside of them to produce biofuel. So what you can do is just use plant fiber. That works perfectly fine. But I have a lot of wastage with crops. So what I do is I just harvest my crops and I place all of this into the organic extractors, because I've got actually full deep freezers. Okay, so what you need to do is bring your organic material to the organic extractors. Okay, I'll get onto the cost of these in a moment. What you need to do is, let's just go ahead and just half these up. You get the idea. So once you've put all of your organic material you want to convert into biofuel into the organic extractors, it will start creating biofuel. There is a secondary structure you're going to need, is the natural oil refiner, which is this thing here. Again, this is crafted on the manufacturer. It's this thing here. I've got that connected, the organic extractor, to the natural oil refiner. I've got it connected with a biofuel pipe tool. This works exactly the same way as the electricity tool and the water pipe tool. You connect it up to each other and it will start passing biofuel into this device here, the natural oil refiner. What that does, this starts turning biofuel into oil, okay? So as you can see here, I've got an oil barrel in here which can hold 150,000 fuel, okay? Now, that's going to be important for you guys, okay? Which I'll get into in a minute. You're going to need this device when you're first getting started. This oil barrel, as 150,000 is the required amount you need to craft the polymerizer, okay? So let's just take a look at the tech tray here. The tech tray and the crafting materials for the polymerizer is 150,000 fuel. So when you go to craft the polymerizer on the manufacturer, you'll have to put your large oil container, which holds 150,000, into here, okay? Now, you can use the workshop, which I'll show you in a moment. So on the workshop, once you start getting uranium rods, which is the exotic for Dangerous Horizons, you can unlock the MXC refined oil canister, okay? And you can call these down, and these have 25,000 oil in them. Now, you can bring them down and have them stack in your manufacturer if you want to craft the oil refiner like that with these cans. So you'd have to bring a couple of these cans down to equal 150,000, okay? Obviously, you're not going to be able to do this straight away, but this is an option in the future for you once you've got this unlocked. So like I did show you on the tech tray, oil cans, these only hold 20,000, okay? But you can craft these the cheap, 20 steel ingots and 5 aluminium screws. Again, this is crafted on the manufacturer. Everything I'm talking about here pretty much is craftable on the manufacturer only. Let's just say you filled up an oil can. You've got the new device to polymerize, okay? You've got that crafted. You've got a bit more oil now. What you need to do is bring your oil cans over to the polymerizer. And here you can make epoxy, which costs 300 mils. It's not worth making epoxy, honestly, guys, like this. Just do it the regular way and it's a lot quicker. You can make plastics. You can make synthetics. And you can make compounds. All of these are going to be required for the tier 5 buildings and items, okay? as you can see here, I've got plastics made up, I've got synthetics, I've got compounds, and I've got one epoxy. Once you've got that, I'll demonstrate it because it's actually got a cool little visual effect. Let's go ahead and make one plastic. There we go. It's pretty cool. This just requires power, the polymerizer. This doesn't need a oil connection at all, where the organic extractors need power and a biofuel connection, okay? These can all be connected to the flow meter, as you can see here. On the flow meter, you have from top to bottom, biofuel, water, electricity, and oil. So just to recap, that is the phase. I'm breaking this down into 2 phases. Phase 1 is this section here. So you've got the aluminium screws, oil can, oil barrel, natural oil refiner, organic extractor, biofuel pipe tool, and the polymerizer. Now you're ready to start looking for oil. Oil is a natural resource that appears in the game. So now you're going to have to start crafting the crude oil refiner, the pump jack, unlocking the oil piping tool, and the crude oil generator. It's at this point now I'm going to explain how expensive all of this is. All of this is going to take you a while because of how expensive everything is. Just for the manufacturer alone, it's 10 titanium plates, 50 electronics, 30 composites, 100 steel screws, and 50 steel ingots, okay? That's crafted on the fabricator, and then it just goes north from there in cost. So for the natural oil refiner, you're talking 40 steel ingots, 30 glass, 30 refined wood, 20 electronics, 25 copper wire, and 60 aluminium screws. Organic extractor, again, lots more steel ingots, more composite, and electronics. And then the polymerizer, again, titanium plates, steel ingots, electronics, the oil, and carbon fiber. This will take you a while and a lot of titanium, guys. As you can see, it just gets more expensive as you start going through the oil route. It is very expensive. This is your end goal for power generation until you get uranium. That will be a separate video, as you will want to get the crude oil generator, which I'll be showing you shortly. It'll provide you 8,000 power, okay? So as long as it's got oil pumped into it, which I'll explain more in a minute, it will provide you with 8,000 power if you haven't got your oil connection going to anything else. Before I move on to the other oil mining procedures, I just want to say, if you aren't filling up any canisters in your natural oil refiner, or if they all fill up or whatever, this here won't be filling up. None of these will be filling up, as they'll all be full if we all had containers in here. And they'll all the biofuel start getting stored in the organic extractors, okay? So as you can see, it's got 0 of 150,000 stored in there at the minute. So once you stop filling up cans, it'll just start getting stored in here. And then all of that biofuel gets passed through to the organic oil refiner once you put empty cans in here. Just thought I'd clear that up just before we move on. Alright, so now for the crude oil refiner, the pump jack, and the crude oil generator, along with the crude oil piping tool. This is phase 2 of mining oil, okay? So what you need to do is you need to locate oil on the map first, okay? As you can see here, there is like a black smudge on the map here. And it's in like an oil location. I've actually put down a beacon here just so, you know, I know what's what. So you want to be looking for something like this on the map, but I'll show you visually what it looks like in a minute. So you want to place down a crude oil refiner. This is not a must, in all fairness. This is again for filling up oil cans. If you have multiple oil pump jacks, what I'm about to tell you is fine. If you have oil flowing from your pump jack into this crude oil refiner, it does something to the actual crude oil generator, which is this. So the crude oil generator and the crude oil refiner are both connected right now, okay? And it's connected to my oil pump jack, which I'm going to be showing you in a minute. And to do that, you need the crude oil piping tool, okay? It works the same way as all the other tools in the game. If I was filling up a can right now in here, this would not work at 100% because I've only got one pump jack running at the minute, and this requires 150 oil, okay, to generate the 8,000 power it's meant to. So to demonstrate this better, I'm going to take out that oil can and I'm going to put in a new oil can. So right now this is idle, not doing anything. This is it providing the maximum amount of power it can, which is 8,000, and it has its requirements met for 150 fuel, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hurt the power generation. I'm going to put an empty can in there. As you can see, required 173 of 1,000. So this is now slowly filling up that. So this is pulling oil from the pump jack in this location, which I'll be showing you shortly. And if you look at this now, this has only got 26 of 150. And it's only providing 1,600 fuel now. Sorry, power. Me filling up this can here is hurting my power generation here. So what I'd personally recommend is, until you get more pump jacks, okay, do not make fuel on the crude oil refiner. You want to be generating as much power as you can from this. As you can see, this is back to full capacity now. Keep on making it via biofuel until you're at a spot where you've got a few pump jacks running at full capacity, and then you've got some to spare and make oil with on the crude oil refiner. As this is a bit of a weird way they've done it, the devs. Let's go and show you the pump jack now. As I'm just heading towards the pump jack, it is important to note that it is needing power and an oil pipeline to it. So you are going to have to pipe it over to your base or create a little outpost and move the oil over yourself. So just take that into consideration on distance and various things like that. Okay, so this is what oil looks like. As you can see, I need to be careful here and navigate around some of these hostiles. Okay. So this is a pump jack. This oil field has 3 oil... It has 3 oil spouts or areas, whatever you want to call it. These are snap. These snap to the actual oil. Yeah, this one's floating. Don't ask me why. But yeah. This one's snapped to that. And then you could do the same for the other 2 as well, okay? And then you just feed this back to your base, wherever that is. Pretty cool effects. Like I said, you can have 3 pump jacks on these. It's expensive, but worth it. Hope you found this oil guide helpful. If it does, please leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below as well what you want to see a guide on next. And, as always, if you would like to support the channel even further by subscribing. We're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers this week. It really would help a lot. As always, thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next video.